The once undisputed heavenly demon, holding infinite aura in the martial world, suddenly gets a wild skin update, turning into a kawaii loli and shaving off decades. Used to send the whole server back to the lobby with one move. Now bro is just grinding for clout as heavenly demon meow meow. But that squeaky voice? Major ick, chat was not vibing at all. But when he hopped on stream for a low-key flex, he literally one-tapped his opponent. The chat was completely shook, calling hacks because it was giving main character energy. Some random op rolled up wanting all the smoke, pulling out a blick, and firing. Everyone thought the loli was completely cooked, ready to spam F in the chat. But bro casually caught the bullet midair like an absolute sigma. The whole stream was gagged, literally glitching because the Riz was unmatched. The plot twist went even harder. He claimed to be 70 years old. Chat was spamming LMAO, calling massive cap, because ain't no way bro is cooking with that story. How is this martial arts goat in a loli build going to completely break the meta when the four realms merge? Let us lock in and binge this absolute W of a series. Waff, rah. Was the martial world truly this small? Chi Yu Rang, the heavenly demon, reached toward the sun, feeling the weight of his unmatched power. He recalled the Black Dragon King, the absolute top dog of the underworld, a legend who still could not touch him. Even the master of Lost Soul Tower, that sneaky schemer, had begged for mercy before they even fought. Talk about an ego boost. But with no one left to challenge, all he felt was crushing loneliness. How lonely, he sighed. The heavenly demon, at the peak of the world, utterly bored. Then a flicker in the sky caught his attention. The sky? Something was off. A colossal black hole erupted behind him, pulsing with raw, unknown energy. Sensing the overwhelming power, he whipped around, shocked. Who dares? He planted his feet and roared. You bastard! Where did you come from? Who sent you? What insane energy! I did not think there was still a fighter like this in the world. He strained against the force, but before he could make a move, the void rift swallowed him whole. One moment he was there, the next, gone. 10 years later, Chi was now on a mysterious island, chowing down on a monster leg. This should be cooked by now, right? He sat atop the carcass of a giant beast, his dinner. Tastes awful, he whined. Hearing another disturbance, he perked up. 10 years already, he mused. This island has all 4 seasons at once. Spiritual herbs everywhere like pebbles, and crazy beasts roaming. No other humans, just me and the monsters. So there is only one rule here. The law of the jungle. A thumping sound echoed. That is the only law. Even after crashing here a decade ago, I have stayed the apex predator. But what is the point of being this strong if it is this lonely and the food sucks? I miss them. Chilbok the nag, bright light seat, right messenger, always bickering. I miss their arguments. Chi sighed, thinking about the 4 heavenly kings who once competed for his favor and his followers. He truly missed them all. He had tried escaping this island before, but soon realized it was impossible. Beyond the blue sea, only a writhing void ocean filled with nothingness existed. Then something glowing caught his eye among the trees below. A strange light flickered through the leaves. He flew toward the mysterious glow, curious. Did something just flash? He landed softly on the forest floor, his footsteps silent. Peering at the glowing object, he muttered, "This is..." He reached out and touched the luminous sphere. Fascinating, it does not seem natural. Suddenly the sphere shifted to a deep red, pulsing with energy. "A mechanism?" he exclaimed, taken aback. The orb then split into multiple fragments, revealing something with a square white house materialized out of nowhere. What on earth is this? He approached the door and peeked inside. Hello, is anyone there? He stepped into the room, which was filled with modern gadgets and furniture. He walked over to a blue wall, knocked on it, thump thump, and found it hollow. He plopped down on a chair. Ah, this is incredibly comfortable. Looking up, he spotted something strange on the ceiling. Before him was a row of black stone tablets. Monitors. A wall lined with black stone tablets. What is this glowing stone? He pressed a button to turn one on. The screen blazed to life, and he was utterly amazed. Central Plains language. The text looked familiar yet foreign. The monitor displayed a welcome message. The broadcast. That is always with you anytime. Anyways, welcome to Twitch. She stared at the screen, utterly bewildered. What is this? A list of videos appeared before him, and he gasped. It is a person, With wide eyes, he noticed a person with colored eyes on the stream. A colored eye person. Suddenly, a blonde streamer, some guy named Mindang, announced, "All right, I will start the 50,000 zero cookie mission right away." The chat exploded with hell party right from the start. Lol and that martial artist is so scroud. Lol. A martial artist charged at the blonde, but the streamer barely flinched. With a simple snap of his fingers, the blonde hurled a massive fireball at the fighter. Talk about a speed run. Flames engulfed the guy, and the chat roasted him. Should have dodged that, idiot. Cannot believe they walked right into that. The fighter got completely toasted. The comments were merciless. Clack, clack, LMAO, shaking in their boots. Then a donation popped up. Moku Moku donated 10,000 zero cookies. Magic is so broken. No wonder martial artists cannot even stand up to it. The blonde shot back. If you do not like it, go use guns like the punk kids. After watching that clip, she muttered to himself, "What kind of sorcery is that? It feels different from blazing solar energy. Definitely not part of Murim." He slapped the monitor and yelled, "Hey, colored eye person! Answer me! Where is this place, and who are you?" The screen automatically switched to another video. A girl was about to eat a dish of Dongpo pork. "Now, I will take a bite of this Dongpo pork," she said, while the chat went, "Aw, look at them eat. Yum." Chi's eyes widened. Dongpo pork? Is not that my absolute favorite food? Seeing cooked food for the first time in 10 years. My dry mouth is watering. He drooled. Desperate, he kicked the monitor and shouted, "Wait, how do I eat that? Child, give some to me too. For 10 years. I have eaten nothing but tasteless monster meat," he lamented. He started punching the keyboard clumsily. "How do I operate this? How do I communicate with them?" A new video started. A man named Snowwagon appeared. "Hi, I am Snowwagon. Today we are going to learn about the food warp, which we use a lot in our daily lives. First, we should start with the great cataclysm that happened 10 years ago. You remember when worlds from different dimensions merged into one, right? As far as we know, a total of 4 worlds merged: the fantasy world of magic, the technologically advanced cyberpunk world, the world of martial artists who use martial arts, and our modern universe protected by hunters. The documentary host described the great cataclysm 10 years ago, when 4 worlds merged: fantasy magic, cyberpunk tech, martial arts, and the modern hunter world, and how they barely survived the demonic beasts that poured through the rifts. A donation popped up from Jamin with 10,000 cookies, and the host quickly thanked them before moving on. With the donation in hand, the host pulled out his phone and ordered an Americano via Food Warp, explaining he was a bit thirsty. He explained that warp technology was a Magitech creation born from the dimensional merger, combining cyberpunk and modern science with fantasy magic. The drink appeared instantly, and he noted that while warping objects was convenient, living things still could not be warped due to various issues. Chi, drooling at the sight of real food through the screen, muttered, "This is it." He realized that earning money through streaming was the key to getting food like that. Conveniently, this room had everything he needed to start, so he got to work. Without wasting any time, he launched his first broadcast, titled Heavenly Demon's Broadcast. Catching his reflection on the screen, he grimaced at his tangled hair and tattered clothes. He looked no better than a beggar. A viewer named Noruswek entered and exclaimed, "Ah shit, you scared me." Chi froze as that viewer suddenly left, leaving him in awkward silence. Then another viewer, Oaktree, joined and asked, "Are you really the Heavenly Demon?" Chi flicked his unwashed hair dramatically and struck his most handsome pose. "Indeed, I am the Heavenly Demon." Oaktree just laughed, called bullshit, and left. Classic internet reaction. Chi sat in front of the monitor, deep in thought. Has the world forgotten me? I am the Heavenly Demon. Caillou Song, he whispered. Then it clicked. The video said 4 worlds merged. That explained everything. 10 years had passed, so of course the world had forgotten him. And in this world where the strong prey on the weak, being forgotten meant death, but he had a plan. Being forgotten means death, but Chi had made up his mind. He declared, "Quitch, I shall conquer you," as he examined the warp device and scrolled through the stream rankings. He noticed that most streamers were either fighting or just chatting, like that first colored eye person. But the top ranks were filled with young, beautiful girls. In other words, who would want to watch an old man stream? No matter what it took, he had to capture their attention. Spotting a cow, he dashed toward it. With a single kick, he killed the cow instantly and extracted a purple spirit stone from its body. Talk about a brutal farming method. If I am going to do this, I will do it right. That is the way of the demonic path, he muttered. A while later, he carried a bag of purple spirit stones to a tree stump. To think I would undergo rejuvenation, something I put off due to laziness. This gem near the beast's heart contains an immense concentration of energy, he explained. Normally, rejuvenation only restores one's youth, but he began chowing down on the spirit stones anyway. But with this energy, I should be able to fine-tune my physical form. Just you wait, Quitch. Cut to a man sitting in front of his computer, looking bored and clicking his mouse aimlessly. Let us see, he continued. My Quitch username is NoobFinder13. Finding cute, small-time streamers and showering them with donations is my only joy in life. He stopped at a video and exclaimed, Oh? Found one. The streamer welcomed him. Welcome, NoobFinder13. It is a pleasure to meet you. The man watching laughed. That tone. Lol. Talk about Gapmo. He typed and donated. NoobFinder13 donated 10,000 zero cookies. Heavenly Demon Chan, do you have a donation reaction? On the other side, the streamer replied, Of course I do. Hi. The man thought about the cute name. Heavenly Demon Meow. The girl on the stream waved and said, Thank you. Meow. Classic trap. Her cuteness made him clutch his heart and exclaim, Whoa! I love you, Heavenly Demon Chan. Absolute simp moment. It turns out she had transformed into a cute girl to stream and attract otaku for cookies. Reborn as a beautiful girl, Heavenly Demon. Talk about a big brain move. And just like that, a flood of viewers poured into his stream. Rennie, as Youngwall 136. DeWitt, Bang, Jong, and more. The chat started popping off. Explaining his unique situation, Chi reveals that rejuvenation is literally about attaining enlightenment and returning to a youthful body. But in his case, he did not undergo rejuvenation when enlightenment struck. He found it so bothersome that he put it off for years. Thanks to that delay, he developed a unique constitution. The massive internal energy from chewing mana stones allowed him to adjust not just his gender, but his body type, facial features, and even his voice. And so, the world's strongest had birthed the ultimate broadcasting constitution. Talk about a massive flex. Back in the present, a viewer asks, How old are you, Heavenly Demon? Chi casually replies he is 70 years old, leaving the chat in disbelief. He reflects that, since his appearance changed, any comment gets a good reaction. All that time analyzing broadcasts and scanning message boards paid off. Suddenly, a donation pops up. Sandmole donated 10,000 zero. Heavenly Demon Meow. Chi thanks him with a playful meow. He admits that even this little attention is enjoyable. After all, the only conversations he'd had in the past decade were the screams of demonic beasts. He then strikes a cute pose, making viewers' hearts skip a beat. Chi wonders how long it has been since he last had a real conversation, while the chat erupts with Gapmo is killing me, and other exaggerated reactions. He mutters that it is thrilling. A viewer asks what is thrilling. He brushes it off with a simple, it is nothing. The total donation amount hits 100,000 zero cookies, and she thinks that is pretty good for the first day. Checking his stream stats, he sees 31 peak viewers and 11 followers. He realizes it would have been impossible without his beautiful heavenly demon appearance. He slams the desk, startling the viewers. He then announces an eating stream. The chat explodes with excitement and questions. When asked what he wants to eat, he says Dongpo pork. Viewers tease him for having the taste buds of an old man. Chi reaffirms that Dongpo pork is his favorite. He goes to a website to order, ignoring a viewer's comment about kids his age liking Tanghulu. He clicks yes, his hand trembling slightly. He calls out for the Dongpo pork to be brought forth, and soon a delivery notification rings. He nervously stares at the dish, his eye showing anticipation. Finally, he exclaims, Wow, look at this color. So plump and juicy. It is driving me crazy. Viewers comment on the small portion for the price, and joke about Murim warriors being rare. With trembling hands, she finally lifted a piece of Dongpo pork, thinking about how it had been a decade since he last tasted real food. Talk about an emotional moment. He took a cautious bite, savoring the flavor that instantly brought back memories. And just like that, he burst into tears, sobbing out loud about how incredibly delicious it was, absolutely wholesome. He could not stop himself. Bite after bite, he devoured the dish like there was no tomorrow. He ate so fast he even choked, and the chat could not help but ask if he was actually crying over pork. Sniffling through tears, he called the dish exquisite, while viewers joked about whether it was really that good to cry over. Some even said they'd order Dongpo pork today. Apologizing for his emotional outburst, Chi explained it had been ages since he'd had real food. Then a donation popped up telling him to buy himself a drink. The chat told him not to cry. Fast forward to the next day, Chi set up his stream with a new title, Heavenly Demon's Kyuch Conquest Day 2 Talk. His follower count had already hit 32. He greeted the chat with a simple hello, and the viewers flooded in with hi hi hi, noticing his swollen eyes from yesterday. New viewers like Mururu and Dongpo Pork Lover entered the stream, adding to the growing audience. But Chi was stunned as viewer count kept climbing, going from 3 to nearly double in seconds. He was bewildered, muttering, What is this?" The chat teased him about his shocked expression, with some wondering if he was a complete newbie to streaming. Then a donation from Small Streamer Scout 13 urged him to check out the popular clips. Chi was curious. A viewer explained that someone had clipped his tearful eating stream and it made it to the rankings. "I did good, right?" the viewer said. That explained the sudden influx. Chi thanked Small Streamer Scout 13 with his usual solemn tone, which made the chat laugh about his weird speech patterns. Just then, a delivery arrived, and Chi exclaimed that it had come just in time. He showed off what he bought with the donations from yesterday's eating stream, and the chat found him adorable. He thought to himself that reinvesting in the stream was paying off with great reactions. Viewers asked what he'd be doing today. Chi announced that today he'd be streaming a game, specifically Real Fight 99. The chat was hyped. After observing Twitch for a while, Chi had noticed that 9 out of 10 games people played were virtual reality titles. He was ready to dive in. From all his observations on Twitch, Chi quickly realized the most popular game by far was Real Fight 99, or RF for short. Not only the magic genius Romero's stream he watched on day 1, but nearly every brawling stream he saw was centered around this very game. But when a viewer pointed out his playtime was a big fat 0, they asked if he'd ever played RF before. Chi admitted it was his first time, and the chat went wild, screaming, "A newbie," as the system confirmed 0 hours. Allowing backseating, he calmly announced he was logging in and slipped on the VR goggles. The chat exploded with "Let us go and get in," as the hype train started rolling. As Chi entered the virtual world, his eyes went wide, and the viewers laughed at his genuine amazement, debating whether this really was his first VR experience. He was fascinated, thinking it felt so real that if not for the floating chat window, he'd have believed he was teleported again. Some viewers even joked he must be from the demon realm. The game system greeted him warmly, announcing they'd measure his combat power before launching Real Fight 99. Standing still for the measurement, the chat speculated wildly, guessing an adult male was around 10, so he'd probably get about 5. When the measurement finished, the system displayed his combat power as 3 question marks, leaving everyone in the chat puzzled. Chi asked what the problem was, and viewers explained that combat power was supposed to be a number between 1 and 100. They'd never seen question marks before. He tried to brush it off, saying it was not that important, but the chat insisted it was a super accurate metric that affected the game difficulty. A donation from Cherry Oda confirmed that combat power indeed affected difficulty, making Chi reconsider higher power means harder game. A viewer explained it could mean facing 2 or 3 monsters instead of 1, and Chi finally acknowledged this was not something to ignore. Admitting he was a total newbie to VR, he asked if anyone knew the exact mechanics, but the chat confessed they had no clue either. Chi was surprised that even the viewers did not know, and they added that even experts were in the dark, which was just that mysterious. Then, a donation from Small Streamer Scout 13 popped up with a link to an article by Snowwagon, urging him to check it out. The video started with Snowwagon's familiar meddlesome tone, offering to teach everyone about virtual reality, while the chat impatiently asked when he'd start playing RF. Snowwagon began explaining that after the Great Cataclysm, worlds mixed together, and the strong men from each world started fighting, leading to chaos. Snowwagon continued explaining how, after the Great Cataclysm, the strong men from different worlds started fighting among themselves, causing massive destruction and civilian casualties. Talk about a chaotic free-for-all. To put an end to the chaos, Quitch Corporation released virtual reality, creating an independent network of VR systems to unite humanity. Not a bad solution, honestly. Thanks to that, humanity achieved incredible progress. Some even called it the Second Great Cataclysm. But of course, there is a catch. Snowwagon revealed that Quitch considers combat power a highly rigorous and accurate metric, converting all abilities like magic or internal energy into numbers. Pretty wild concept, but he admitted the principles behind it are still unknown, only Quitch knows. So basically, nobody really understands how it works. Chi, getting a bit annoyed, muttered that this guy does not know either. The chat agreed, laughing and adding that Quitch is suspicious, just popping out high-tech stuff out of nowhere. Some viewers even called it an O-part, an out-of-place artifact, combining tech from different worlds after the Great Cataclysm. Chi just sighed, reading the comments. He found it interesting, but asked them to summarize into 3 lines from now on. The chat immediately called him out for pretending to understand. Classic. Just then, the system announced that Real Fight 99's installation was complete, and the game was launching. The chat hyped up. Are we finally going? Receive the new recruit. Chi was teleported to an empty field in front of a majestic gate. He let out an oho, definitely a nostalgic sight for someone who has seen plenty of fantasy worlds. He admitted it was a nostalgic sight, probably reminding him of his own demon realm. The system asked if he wanted a tutorial, but Chi declined, saying he'd seen enough on streams. The chat loved his refreshing confidence, knowing it is pretty realistic anyway. A viewer asked if he had ever fought before, and Chi let out a quiet, "Hehehe, oh boy, that smirk means trouble." He boldly claimed, "I have no equal." The chat exploded with laughter, spamming LMAO emojis. Talk about main character energy. Viewers asked if he'd even played RF before, but he admitted he had not, though he insisted he fights well. The chat teased him, saying he'd be crying soon. Classic newbie overconfidence. Chi reasoned that he'd seen on streams that it is over once you deplete the green health bar, easy peasy. But the chat knew better. What are we going to do with her? He decided to warm up a bit, stomping his foot loudly. The viewers noticed the sound and got curious. After throwing a few shadow punches, viewers started noticing. Wait, she looks like she has learned a thing or two. Some thought he was using mana or internal energy. The chat grew intrigued. Suddenly, a challenge from Granoma Akun Thief popped up. Chi was puzzled. A challenge, viewers warned him. A post just went up in the RF gallery, and this troll was coming after a complete newbie. Heavenly Demon, do not accept it, they pleaded. He felt a bit stifled by the pressure, but decided this was the perfect chance to test the waters. About half, no, maybe 30%, he mused. Perfect. I can use this guy to get a feel for things. The system confirmed the challenge, and the chat groaned. Why did you accept it? They cried. A figure emerged from the gate, and the chat immediately caught a whiff of a gunslinger. One viewer called him an attention-seeking son of a bitch. The challenger entered with a mocking newbie, yay, while the chat warned, no one can beat a gun. Heavenly Demon, give up now. The system announced the fight would start after the countdown, and someone shuddered. The sensation of getting shot is awful. They predicted she'd quit after one hit as the countdown began. 3, 2, 1. Fight! The troll immediately drew his gun and fired. He smirked, but the chat was disgusted. That damn cyberpunk just clicking away. Does he really want to do that? Then the troll froze, stunned by something. She had caught the bullet between 2 fingers. So this is what they call a bullet, he said nonchalantly. The chat exploded with question marks. Work? Excuse me. He dropped the bullet to the ground and said, now. The troll started trembling in fear, realizing his attack was effortlessly blocked. Purple demonic energy swirled around Chi. It is my turn, he declared. The chat went insane. Did she just catch a bullet? What is this person? A new character named Snowwagon pops up, cheerfully introducing himself as the meddlesome Snowwagon. Since the Great Cataclysm, he points out, the standard for being good at fighting has boiled down to whether you can handle guns. One bullet ends it all, he argues, so who would invest the time and effort into practicing martial arts? Martial arts, which offer no shortcuts in training, are currently on the path to ruin. To defeat someone with a gun, you need at least 10 years of consistent training, and even then, there is no guarantee you'll reach that level. In this rapidly changing era, who would bother learning such boring martial arts? You'd rather shave your head and buy a gun to become a punk, or switch to a night class. Perhaps that is why, ironically, even the strong sects that survived the Great Cataclysm are now worried about being wiped out. And here is where the problem arises. Guns generally do not work well on demonic beasts. They are largely ineffective unless using special armor-piercing rounds made for them. In other words, guns are only bullies against other humans. We need to nurture talents to fight demonic beasts, but instead we have weapons that threaten humans. As people seek convenience, the number of mages, knights, hunters, and Murim warriors decreases every year. He suggests it would not be a bad idea to share the worries of the next generation. That is all for today's explanation. Everyone, watch out for bullets. Facing it firsthand, she can see clearly. With just that, one could easily kill a person. This wicked tool naturally makes ordinary people rely on it. Making people weak, it mocks the efforts of those who train to become stronger. She lets out a small hum before declaring that such a tool ultimately kills martial arts, and she cannot let that happen. Now that is main character energy. With a light step, she pushes off the ground and leaps, remarking that it was just a small stride. She declares that this is a weak world filled with gunpowder and bullets, while the challenger senses the overwhelming power radiating from her jump. A single step taken in silence, and suddenly the challenger trembles, dropping his gun from sheer terror. Absolute savage. She is genuinely surprised by his frail reaction and thinks, the chat went absolutely nuts. What the? How? Why is he collapsing? Did he just wet himself? The punks got publicly humiliated on stream. Talk about a brutal reality check. She was genuinely baffled. How could someone be this frail? Fainting from a single step? Even the newest rookies in the Heavenly Demon cult had more backbone than this. She sized him up, a thug with zero internal energy, no training whatsoever, just relying on that little gadget called a gun. Classic crutch for the weak. How truly pathetic, she muttered. The viewers were losing it. Who is she? How did she do that? Questions flying everywhere. Right then, a donation popped up from Small Streamer Scout 13, 10,000 cookie points, asking if he could upload the clip. She struck an adorable pose and replied, Heavenly Demon Meow. Thanks, Meow. Scout, you are a loyal subject. The chat warned. It is going to cause an uproar if you upload that, and just like that, a new post went up with the title, She really caught a bullet. The internet was about to explode. The comments flooded in. She really caught a bullet. I have replayed it in slow motion like 30 times. No way this is fake. The punk collapsing. If that was acting, he should have been an actor ages ago. Where are the doubters now? They all deleted their posts and ran. Lol. Someone in the RF community chimed in. But seriously, how can she do that at her age? I am a Murim warrior and even I cannot do that. Another joked. She might be an old master who underwent rejuvenation. John? Rejuvenation? Lal? Sounds like the Wudong sect exorcising demons. Behind the screen, a masked figure with the handle AllHailTheHeavenlyDemon was watching intently. Oh ho. What a remarkable young lady. It is like watching the cult leader's childhood. The chat noticed him immediately. The crazy bastard appeared. It is AllHailTheHeavenlyDemon. Hey, can you do that too? The masked guy replied coolly. It is a piece of cake. He typed with admiration. Whose disciple is she? Truly magnificent. What is her martial moniker? I must go pay her a visit sometime. Someone corrected him. It is Heavenly Demon, he replied. Ahem, I too am well aware the Heavenly Demon is the greatest. No, they insisted. I mean that girl's username is literally... He froze. What? How dare she? Anger flared instantly. A wet behind-the-ears brat dares to usurp the title of the heavens. The chat laughed. Ah, someone pressed his trigger button. Why is he getting so worked up? The leader. Our cult leader is. That guy's already famous for this. Pretty sure he is mentally unstable. In his private group, a flood of messages appeared. The cult leader is alive. The cult leader is alive. Repeated endlessly like a broken record. Other members groaned. Ugh, here he goes again. Think about it logically. Would the cult leader even still be alive after all this time? Meanwhile, back on Cheese Stream, the title read, Heavenly Demon Switch Conquest Day 3. It is an outdoor stream. Followers sat at 58, and the live tag was on. The chat greeted her warmly. Good morning, Heavenly Demon. Oh, outdoor stream today? Hi, martial arts genius, she replied in her calm, distinctive voice. Welcome everyone. I welcome you all. She glanced at the stats. Peak viewers, 152. Average, 103. Followers, up by 47. This is thrilling, she thought. The live viewership is growing with unstoppable momentum. Then she noticed the live viewer count had hit 200 before she even started the main broadcast. Yesterday's peak was 150, but I have already hit 200? She could not help but feel a little pleased. A donation pops up from Small Streamer Scout 13, and she thanks him with a cute pose, saying, Heavenly Demon Meow. Thanks, Meow, you've done it again. The clip from yesterday went viral again. What a legend. Scout replies modestly, saying he is happy to help, which reminds Chi of someone from her past, that nagging fellow who always stuck around. She silently hopes he is still alive and vows to find him. But before she can dwell on it, the masked troll AllHailTheHeavenly crashes the stream, screaming, Demon, you bastard, right on cue. He goes off on Chi, accusing her of impersonating the heavens and demanding she stop using the name Heavenly Demon. Talk about a sore loser. Chi just blinks in confusion, asking what is up with that guy. The chat immediately labels him a toxic troll and a terrible role player. They explain that this guy shows up whenever someone even mentions the H in Heavenly Demon. He is infamous in Murim circles. The troll then lashes out at the chat for talking back. Chi ignores him and appoints Scout as today's manager, and Scout quickly times out the troll for 60 seconds. You cannot cover the sky with your palm. Gets cut off by the system. The chat cracks up, saying the manager is doing a great job and that his hands are super fast. LMAO indeed. A new donation asks where the stream is, and Chi replies, Did not I say it was an outdoor stream today? The place I live is a bit unique, she explains, so I prepared this for you all. The chat is full of question marks, completely confused. As Chi ventures deeper into the forest, the chat goes wild, spotting rare herbs, wild ginseng, fleece flower, blood chrysanthemum, and even mandrakes growing by the roadside. What kind of cursed paradise is this? The troll tries again, but gets timed out once more. Chi thinks, as expected, I was not the only one who thought this place was strange. Chi asks if there are any Murim warriors in the chat, and suddenly everyone raises their hands, literally spamming hand, in the chat. She then asks if they remember the Heavenly Demon, the former strongest in the world. The chat recalls the terrifying cult leader of the demonic cult. Chi corrects them gently. It is not the demonic cult, but the Heavenly Demon cult. The chat piles on rumors. She killed the alliance leader in one hit, had demon horns, gulps blood instead of water. Chi thinks, I do not have horns.
Bigots. She thinks, soup.
I do not drink blood either. The discussion moves to who would win in a fight against the Night King, and why she was not around during the Rift War. Chi just smiles at the chat's banter. Someone finally says she died during the Great Cataclysm. Chi goes silent, standing straight with her hands behind her back. Classic dramatic pause. She turns her head to look at the camera and says firmly, I did not die. The chat instantly asks how she knows that. A close-up on her face as she begins. Because I am. The suspense builds, and she drops the bomb. The cult leader of the Heavenly Demon cult, Heavenly Demon Chi. The chat erupts in laughing emojis, not believing her at all. Little do they know, she is dead serious. The troll AllHailTheHeavenlyDemon tried to speak again, but got immediately timed out. The chat laughed, telling Chi to just do whatever she wants. She smirked internally, knowing no one would believe a cute girl like her was the terrifying Heavenly Demon. Scrolling through forums, all she found were posts asking about the Heavenly Demon cult. Most replies said they were wiped out in the Great Cataclysm. Only vague stories remained about them falling into Death Canyon. With nothing defined, she figured no explanation was needed. The chat asked where she was headed, and she replied simply, somewhere high. From above, she explained, you could see the cursed island's true nature. The chat was baffled. Cursed? But there were elixirs everywhere. They spotted clusters of deathbell flowers blooming. What kind of messed up place is this? Some asked. Others joked they wanted to be cursed too just to get sent there. She announced she was almost there, telling everyone to take a look. Stepping out of the forest revealed a massive chasm with flying monsters and red lightning. "This is where I live," she said. The chat was in awe, one viewer even apologizing for acting up earlier. A giant insect-like demonic beast appeared. The chat went crazy. Did she fight the Night King? That is at least danger level 2. They could not believe people lived in such a place. She admitted she'd lived here for 10 years, but knew almost nothing about it. The outdoor stream was to see if anyone recognized the location. Asking if they knew where this was, the chat wondered how she was floating the camera. Drone? Viewers joked about getting a broadcast station or needing a crew, while others begged for wild ginseng. She sighed. No one knew. Suddenly, she noticed a comment. "Wait a second, guys. Is not this the demon realm?" someone asked. Peak viewers hit 337, average 202. Followers jumped to 101. The stream was blowing up. Scene shift to a dim room at night. A boss yelled at Sam Dole, kneeling on the floor. "You got wrecked by a kid under 15. Embarrassing." Sam Dole had no excuse. The boss confiscated his gun. A henchman asked what to do. "Sam Dole is family, right?" The boss replied. Paeng, the Assassination Squad vice boss, confirmed. Of course, he is family. The boss Nam, Bloodflower Sword, declared he would not let anyone mess with his family slide. But Paeng pointed out Sam Dole provoked her first. Nam did not care. "What is the name of the kid who made our Sam Dole wet himself?" "Heavenly Demon, boss." Nam's eyes widened. "What?" "Heavenly Demon." Nam could not shake the feeling that the name Heavenly Demon was not something to be thrown around so lightly. It carried weight and history. Back in his lair, the masked guy was glued to his screen, managing his own cult from the shadows, already plotting his next move. The masked man, known as AllHailTheHeavenlyDemon, sat obsessively mumbling to himself. The cult leader is alive, over and over, his anger boiling at the audacity of a lowly wretch daring to use that title. Both he and Namdusik, the Bloodflower Sword, made the same silent vow. "I will eliminate you, Heavenly Demon." She had just gained 2 dangerous enemies, each with their own twisted agenda. After that tense moment, the scene shifted to a live stream hosted by the meddlesome Snow Wagon, who cheerfully introduced himself and announced a lesson about the Demon Realm. He explained that the Demon Realm is an uncharted land discovered just before the Rift War, at the very start of the Great Cataclysm, existing beyond the Rift. Snow Wagon told the story of the first discoverer, a mage named Malin, who supposedly jumped into the rift while desperately fleeing from a demonic beast. To her surprise, she ended up in a place overflowing with rare medicinal herbs and fruits. Talk about a lucky break. She found herself on a bizarre yet beautiful island, where all 4 seasons coexisted at once, but her excitement quickly turned to dread. "It is over. I am done for." The island was swarming with demonic beasts of at least danger level 3, and she even spotted a dragon. "I am just screwed," she cried. Luckily, she managed to escape by jumping into a rift that reappeared before her eyes, revealing the world's first proof of the demon realm's existence. Later, scholars analyzed the soil on her shoes and clothes, uncovering an atmospheric mana concentration of 0.819 ppm, over 30 times higher than in their own world. If it were not for the precious elixirs Malin brought back in her pockets, they might not have believed their own eyes. Scholars speculated that the bizarre environment was a magical phenomenon caused by mana. Unsurprisingly, such an astonishing place sparked heated debate about whether the demon realm truly exists. People remained split between skeptics and believers, with scholars arguing it existed due to unstable spacetime during the Great Cataclysm. Snowwagon asked the viewers for their opinion, warned them not to jump into rifts, and signed off cheerfully. Chi, who had been watching the stream, murmured to himself, "Fascinating." He pondered. "The demon realm, huh? Naming it a place where demons live is a bit bleak," while chat comments noted that danger level 1 demonic beasts there would essentially be demons. A viewer said you'd need to be at the level of the 9 heroes to barely kill one, but Chi countered that no particularly threatening ones had appeared so far. More importantly, he thought, that was high-quality information. He was not sure if this place was the legendary demon realm, but the fact that someone came here and left gave him hope. He decided to look around while doing an outdoor stream, having observed similar phenomena over the past 10 years. Chi started a live stream, titled Heavenly Demons Switch Conquest Day 4 Part 1, Slightly more delicious Dongpo pork-eating stream. Part 2, heart-pounding. Exciting RF. The chat greeted him, and someone asked if this was really the demon. Realm? He welcomed them, saying he did not know yet, and the chat laughed at his tone, telling him he just had to adapt. As announced, he began a mukbang with Dongpo pork, costing 150,000 zero cookies, while the chat teased about his love for the dish. She thought that this pork was 50,000 zero cookies more expensive than the one he ate on the first day, so it must be that much more delicious. She marveled at the thought that other premium restaurants were selling Dongpo pork for a whopping 1 million cookies. According to a menu he saw, he wondered just how delicious that must be, imagining it would even surpass the cult's head chef's cooking. Staring at the menu with a wistful expression, he declared that one day he would eat that premium Dongpo pork too, while chat wondered what he was looking at. Then, he took a single bite, chopsticks poised. Instantly, he exploded with delight. It is freaking delicious, as chat laughed at his reaction. Viewers cheered him on, telling him to eat up, and noting he looked happiest when eating. Someone in chat advised him to eat slowly, saying no one was going to steal it. She replied wistfully that he almost wished someone would try, because he was always alone here, and chat felt a pang of sympathy. Just then, a game notification popped up. You have 2 unread whispers. Would you like to open them? You /N without hesitation. He opened them. The first whisper turned out to be from that troll AllHailTheHeavenly, who insulted him as a young, immature brat and demanded to know if he realized whose name he was impersonating. She sighed, recognizing the same annoying guy from last time. The troll threatened him and then proposed a bet. If Chi lost, he'd have to change his moniker. If Chi won, he'd donate a mind-boggling 10 million cookies. Chi thought that 10 million cookies was an absurd amount. This guy was truly a lunatic. Deciding to ignore that for now, he checked the next whisper, which was also from AllHailTheHeavenly, this time accusing him of insulting their family and demanding satisfaction. The message escalated, claiming Chi had messed with the Assassination Squad and warning of blood for blood, an eye for an eye. Look forward to it, the troll wrote. Chi stared at the screen, bewildered, and thought, who is this? While picking up a piece of meat, he asked his chat if anyone knew what this Assassination Squad was all about, and a viewer echoed the question. Eating as he spoke, Chi explained to the stream that the squad had suddenly whispered him, telling him to prepare himself for messing with their family. Chat speculated that the so-called punt pea pants had snitched. He repeated their phrase, "We will pay you back blood for blood," which sent the chat into a frenzy of puns, joking about P for P and dubbing them the P Squad. Chi grinned to himself, realizing this drama had rolled in as perfect content. What a great turn of events. He announced it was time to move to part 2, putting on his virtual reality headset, while the chat praised his instinct for streaming. The system welcomed her back. Her combat power was unknown. Record 4 wins, 0 losses, still unranked in both solo and flex. She mentioned she had played a few more matches to kill time, but remained unranked. She mused that she needed to raise her tier to face stronger opponents. So far, it had been painfully boring watching fools rely on guns. The chat chimed in, explaining that guns were the cheapest option, but higher tiers would show players who dumped serious cash into cyberware. She questioned whether she could trust that, warning she'd be very disappointed if they turned out to be nothing special. The viewers assured her that those players even replaced their organs. Financial power was a skill too. She noted that after just 2 more matches she could start playing ranked games, so they'd soon see. The chat speculated about what tier the Heavenly Demon would achieve. She added that she had researched the rank system thoroughly. They had divided things into all sorts of trivial details. Naturally, as a martial artist, she declared, one should aim for the highest peak. The chat asked if she was targeting the realm above the heavens, and she confirmed it. They discussed the 9 heroes, the Lunatic 9, and the 7 great demonic humans, but told her to let the kid dream big. She acknowledged that the road ahead was long, but it would not take too much time. After all, the moths drawn to the flame, eager to prove their martial arts against her, had been lining up for quite some time now. The crowd roared as someone announced, "Listen up, the Blade of Revenge has..." They shouted to keep sending duel requests until she accepted, determined to make that arrogant little brat unable to even stomach the letter R in RF. Suddenly, a viewer exclaimed they'd been matched with her. Great, teach that little squirt a lesson. The system accepted a duel request from Chinese restaurant napkin serial thief. A pink-haired girl entered, accusing her. Heavenly Demon, you wench. I heard you caught Samdok's bulge with your hand. As the countdown began, the girl smirked, saying that was a single-shot rifle. What she brought today was a bit different. The match started, and she revealed a 6-barreled machine gun, firing 10 rounds per second, boasting it could easily escape the iron rank. She opened fire with a wild "Wow! Eat this!" Bullets rained down on Chi, but Chi calmly assumed a stance, and with a wave of her hand, reversed the trajectory of every bullet, sending them flying back at the pink-haired girl. Her own bullets tore through her virtual body, leaving multiple holes. Outside the game, the pink-haired girl collapsed with a scream. Match over, Heavenly Demon wins. The chat erupted in disbelief. Crazy. What did I just watch? Back in the real world, Daesik yanked off her headset, utterly baffled. She was sure she'd hosed Chi with bullets, but somehow it did not stick. She fumed, calling it a dirty trick that made zero sense logically, and accused Chi of using an expensive artifact. After all, she'd seen her chugging elixirs like side dishes last time. A buddy patted her shoulder, sighed, and went. Are there no more? How boring. Then another hothead stepped up. Must have used such an arrogant. I will go next. A duel request popped up from public bathhouse Shirak Destroyer, who entered gripping 2 guns and trash-talked arrogant brat. Try blocking this too. Yeah, turns out blocking machine guns is no big deal. He got obliterated just as fast. Classic. Next up, Elevator Stealth Fart swaggered in, claiming he'd be different from the previous losers. Spoiler alert, he was not. Chi sent him packing right after. Duel requests from 108 bows at church and medium rare taiyaki request came flooding in, but every single one ended in a swift defeat. They did not stand a chance. The chat exploded. Crazy! What is she? Really? And wait, she was this strong? She just smirked and said, Did you see that? This is who I am. Someone declared that Heavenly Demon was now the idol of all Murim warriors. No objections in chat. Another joked, How many losses in a row is the P Squad at now? And someone quipped, For real, are not they just the Handful Squad now? Daesik, reading the comments, muttered, These viewers. Cyberbullying. Daesik desperately pleaded with her boss. Boss, let me try one more time. But Paeng cut her off. No, there is no need for that, he explained grimly. We cannot let the Assassination Squad's prestige fall any further to the ground. With murderous intent radiating off him, Paeng declared, I will step up personally, and slipped on his VR headset. Uh-oh. Paeng could not shake the feeling. This kid was anything but ordinary. He wondered if she was hiding a superpower, an artifact, or maybe even cyberware, or some kind of magic. One thing was certain, though. This fight, he realized, would require everything he had, or he'd lose. Talk about high stakes. Meanwhile, the system announced Chi's promotion, from iron to bronze, with a record of 9 wins and 0 losses. That is what we call a clean sweep. Chi burst out. Everyone, congratulate me. I am bronze now. The chat exploded with congrats, amazed at how fast she climbed. Classic main character energy. A donation from Sandmole. There were a few silvers among those who challenged you. Let us keep climbing. And another from Small Streamers Count 13, prompting Chi to thank them with a cute Heavenly Demon meow. Then a gold player named Chewed-Gum Destroyer challenged her. The chat explained that in Murim terms, gold was like a late-stage second-rate to early-stage first-rate martial artist. Someone compared it to a low-tier sword expert who could enhance their body with mana. The system warned of a large tier gap. Chi chuckled. Oh ho, so this might be a bit different? But the chat cautioned that it was more than a little different. Beating a gold could jump her to silver, but the skill gap was huge. Then a donation reminded everyone she was a beginner who only started 2 days ago. Despite that, Chi confidently accepted the challenge, and the chat remembered she was the kid who catches bullets. The system confirmed the challenge, and the gold player entered the arena. But that is not who showed up. Instead, a new challenger appeared, Paeng, the vice boss of the Assassination Squad, announcing himself as Paeng Deok-Jo. You kept me waiting, Heavenly Demon. Chi was taken aback. Ho-Yon? The Paeng clan. Paeng was surprised she knew of his clan. She replied, Of course. Are not they the tigers? He pressed her, wondering if she had met a Paeng before. She hinted that she had, and when asked who, she simply said, Ho-Yon. The name hung in the air. An exclamation from somewhere. Paeng's face darkened. Paeng Ho-yeon? The patriarch? Chi asked innocently if he was doing well. The chat quickly explained that the patriarch had died during the Great Cataclysm, and Chi had unknowingly insulted his memory. Paeng exploded, accusing her of mocking him. Chi sighed. That is too bad. He was a cheerful guy. Hans recounted how the patriarch fought to the end, protecting his clan from demonic beasts. She remarked that it was a fitting end for Ho-yeon, but Paeng was not having any of it. Shut your mouth. Paeng continued his rant, accusing Chi of disrespecting the Paeng clan by repeatedly invoking Ho-yeon's name. He declared that even though their manor had burned and members scattered, the clan's spirit remained unbroken, prompting a witty commenter to point out that meant everything else had collapsed. Another viewer warned him to watch his mouth. Paeng warned Chi not to speak the patriarch's name carelessly, but Chi shot back that Ho-yeon himself never complained. So why was Paeng throwing a fit? Paeng called her a wench and boasted that he was known as the Paeng Deok-Jo because he had cut down everyone, grandmothers, grandfathers, women, and children, just to survive. Chi asked if he was actually bragging about that. The chat recognized him as Trash Paeng and said he was famous for it. A viewer named SmallStreamersCot13 explained that Trash Paeng Deok-Jo was a survivor of the Paeng clan wiped out during the Great Cataclysm using an overbearing saber technique at early stage first rate. He was infamous for saying he only beats up the elderly, women, and children, and for his quote, Bitcoin is a safe asset. The chat exclaimed that he really was trash, and that his path was not the overbearing path, but the immoral one. Paeng challenged Chi to come at him, declaring he would make her pay for messing with the Assassination Squad. Chi calmly recalled a saying from the Jianghu. She quoted, "Beware of the elderly, women, and children." Then she pointed out that she fit all three descriptions. Classic. The countdown began. 3, 2, 1. The match started with fight. Paeng thought he would finish it in one strike. A booming sound echoed under Paeng's feet as he launched his attack. Paeng rushed at Chi using the Mountain King, dominating steps. He leaped into the air, gripping his sword with both hands, and prepared to bring down the White Tiger Soul severing technique. Chi just stood there, calmly watching him swing the blade toward her. But just as the sword was about to connect, Chi vanished and reappeared behind Paeng like a bolt of lightning. Paeng was stunned. She was barehanded, yet he heard the clash of blades. And the technique she used was none other than the Paeng clan's own martial arts. He coughed, already injured. In that split second, when Paeng realized something was off, Chi had already punched a hole straight through his body. Paeng gasped. How could a wretch like you use the Wine clan's primordial lightning palm? She replied simply that his saber had trembled. Chi philosophized that to tremble means to be alive, and every flower blooms while trembling. Paeng, in disbelief, called it bullshit and logged out, accepting defeat. Chi offered a surprising comfort, telling Paeng that Ho-yeon's death was not his fault. She added that, at the very least, Ho-yeon would have said the same thing, giving Paeng a moment of pause. But Paeng, seeing the shadow of Ho-yeon in Chi, scoffed. "Your delusions. Only then will you be able to move forward." "Do not make me laugh," Chi simply replied, a descendant of the Paeng clan. Her tone was almost gentle. She thought to herself, "It feels like I have discovered a rare wildflower." Just as the system announced, match over. The result flashed. Heavenly Demon wins. The chat erupted. Wah! She is crazy. Trash is down. Her record hit 10 wins, 0 losses, and she was promoted to silver. Donations flooded in. One even saying she reached silver in just 5 matches. Chi responded with a cute Heavenly Demon meow. Thanks. Silver is nothing special. But everyone knew she was just humble bragging. In her mind, she was already planning. At this rate, the 1 million zero cookie Dongpo pork will be mine. I will win step by step and rake in donations. Then a new challenger appeared, a grandmaster named AllHailTheHeavenlyDemon. Chat's jaws dropped. The system asked if she accepted. Chat screamed. What did it just say? She stared at the username, stunned. Grandmaster? She read it again in disbelief. Chat pointed out that was 4 tiers above Paeng, and more importantly, look at that username. It is the troll who kept spamming her. She thought back. She definitely remembered that username from somewhere, and it was not good. A donation from SmallStreamersCoat13 confirmed. That is the troll who kept spamming you to change your ID. Chat was shocked he was a grandmaster. She asked, What level of mastery is a grandmaster? The chat admitted they did not know much about the celestial realm. They just watched and went, wow. Someone explained that Diamond was around the level of a sword master, and for Chi, they used Muram terms. Peak stage, Chi thought about the posts from that username. They were malicious spam provoking resentment, not true worship. She said aloud, "Believers of our heavenly demon cult do not preach in such a vulgar manner. It must be someone with animosity wearing a mask." But then she reconsidered. Seeing their tier, they were too skilled to be just trolling. Could it be a survivor of the cult? The left or right messenger? Or one of the 4 heavenly kings? She heaved a heavy sigh, muttering that she'd find out soon enough, and promptly accepted the challenge without a second thought. The system confirmed the match, but the chat went ballistic. No, why would you accept that? And does she think she is invincible just because she beat a gold? They were not convinced. The scene shifted to a new arena, a dark, gloomy sky with a full moon casting an eerie glow. Talk about an ominous setup. The chat instantly picked up on the vibes. Wow, what is with the atmosphere? And Grandmasters are different from the moment they enter, while someone just muttered a bored meh. Standing calmly with her hands behind her back, she addressed the challenger. "Are you AllHailTheHeavenlyDemon?" Her tone was cool and collected. The figure finally spoke, his voice echoing through the arena. "We finally meet. I will praise you for not running away." The words hung heavy with meaning. She listened closely, picking up something off about the opponent's voice. It was androgynous, but sounded unnatural, like it was forced or altered. She figured it could be some martial art or an artifact messing with the vocal cords, but habits and mannerisms? Those you cannot fake. Once they clashed, she knew she'd figure out their level and who they really were. Classic big brain move. The masked figure reminded her of their promise. If he won, she'd have to change her moniker. She shot back about the 10 million cookies he owed her. He scoffed, dead sure he would not lose. Chi glanced at his empty hands and asked where his weapon was. He fired back that his bare hands were more than enough to deal with her. The system started the countdown. 3, 2, 1. The guy launched forward at insane speed, leaving the commentators scrambling to even see where they went. But she immediately clocked that footwork. It was way too familiar. She called out without hesitation. "Chilbok, is that you?" And just like that, the Grandmaster tripped and went sprawling. Talk about an instant tell. He let out a panicked scream as he scrambled back, and the crowd went wild. What did she just say? Is that a sonic martial art? First time they'd ever seen a Grandmaster bite the dust. He demanded to know who she really was. She answered simply, "I am the heavenly demon." He denied it, claimed he was not this Chilbok person or whatever. But she was not buying it. That footwork was etched into her memory. There is no way she'd ever forget it. She explained that the unique sliding over ice footwork was something she had personally advised on. No one else could have taught it. She recalled a fellow with a body cursed by freezing yin energy, someone who was not supposed to live past 20 but defied their fate. That same person followed her to the end, becoming her most trusted confidant, loyal subject, and like a little sibling. "You were alive, Chilbok," she said softly. He kept denying, but his voice cracked. She pressed him. Why keep denying it? Was there some circumstance he was dealing with? He thought back. It was from a long time ago, and the memories were not pretty. The reason he had discarded the name Chilbok was tied to that nightmare. Chaos, flames, and desperate shouts to form formations and defend the Grand Hall until the cult leader arrived. He described the sky overturning, and how every time he closed his eyes, the horror came rushing back like a waking nightmare. Chilbok's mind flashed back to that apocalyptic night, horrifying monsters tearing through the great heavenly demon cult grounds like it was their own playground. Screams and blood filled the air as cult members were devoured while crying out to the heavens for help. Absolute nightmare fuel. In the chaos, desperate voices asked if the cult leader had run away, or worse, perished. The uncertainty was maddening. Someone shouted for the heavenly strategist to flee and plan for the future. But where was the leader? Then came the devastating accusation. The cult leader abandoned us. That single sentence would haunt Chilbok for over a decade. A trembling girl urged her comrades to run, her final words a desperate plea to survive. That was over 10 years ago, the day the sky split open and demonic beasts ran rampant across the land. Chilbok was struck by a severe inner demon that day, a wound that never truly healed. The accusing voice echoed in her head on repeat. The cult leader abandoned us. Classic emotional scar. For more than 10 long years, she fought that inner demon, until whispers started saying, "He is alive. The cult leader is alive." Talk about a mind game. Back in the present, she noticed something off and asked gently, Chilbok, are you hurt somewhere? Seeing her distress, she added, You do not look well. Empathy from the one she thought had betrayed her. But that name triggered an explosion. Chilbok lashed out, screaming, Do not bring up that name, while Chi nimbly dodged. Oh snap, emotions running high. Chilbok's inner demon raged twice as hard. How does she know that name? Then she steeled herself. You fearless girl. Listen well. Time for the big reveal. She declared, I am, in truth, from the heavenly demon cult, which is known to have disappeared. More accurately, I served as the heavenly strategist of the Sun Moon Divine cult. And then she dropped the legendary name. My name is Heavenly Smoke Black Feather Day, Wool Rin. The commentators lost it. Heavenly Smoke Black Feather is alive? Holy moly, this is huge news. Absolute pandemonium. Those out of the loop begged for context, while others explained that she is a big shot among big shots, the brain of the demonic cult. Someone wondered if the demonic cult was really gone, and another pointed out that no one expected a survivor, let alone the strategist herself. When someone questioned if a strategist was weak, the crowd shut them down fast. She was the heavenly demon's closest aide and could thrash most sect leaders. Legend status confirmed. But Chilbok did not back down completely. She threatened to punish Chi for impersonating the name of the heavens, then added she'd show mercy just this once. She snarled that is not a name. A lowly wretch like you dares to use, and demanded Chi swear to change her moniker, promising to back off if she did. Even in this virtual reality, she did not want to kill a young girl, she admitted, her voice cracking with restraint. Her inner demon screamed, I do not want to, but if I do not control my anger here. Before she could finish, the dreaded Chi deviation began to rear its ugly head. Suddenly, a surge of power exploded from Chilbok, and the commentators jolted back to reality. Oh right, they were in the middle of a duel. She launched herself at Chi like a rocket, but Chi smoothly stepped back, dodging the attack. The crowd gasped, Hey, is she okay? Looks like she is gonna die. Chi hopped onto ice crystals, spun around, and flicked Chilbok right on the forehead. A gentle, almost parental scolding for a student who messed up. Dead silence. Then the scene melted into a flashback. A starry night, and a young Chilbok sipping cold water, claiming it tasted good mixed with the moon. Chi called her a fool and said it only tastes good in moderation. What does it matter if a dying person drinks a little alcohol? She mumbled. Chi replied firmly, You are not going to die. Chilbok poured her heart out. Boss, I am a lost cause. I am lowborn. My body is ridiculously weak, and I lack the comprehension to learn martial arts. She planned to just waste away drinking alcohol, and begged Chi to leave her be. Inside, she wondered, what was I expecting? Was I hoping he would try to stop me? But Chi said nothing. With a bitter laugh, she raised her cup in the moonlight. Yes, go ahead and leave. Do not leave even the faintest trace of hope. Then Chi finally spoke. Her name, Chilbok. Watch closely, he said, and he showed her a technique so beautiful she later thought it resembled a sword dance. This is my gift to you, he said. Chi performed a set of 12 incredibly intuitive sword techniques, as if designed for someone with a weak body and poor comprehension. Then he announced, I intend to become the cult leader. A stunned "so" was all she could manage, but Chi was not done. Follow me to where I stand. I will not accept any other answer, Chilbok protested. But boss, the only thing I am good at is playing cheap tricks. Chi cut her off with a laugh. Goodness, you fool. Does that matter? I like you. That is enough. Then came the words that sealed everything. I like you. That is enough. Those simple yet powerful words struck deep into Chilbok's soul. In the ancient scriptures, it was written, The heavenly strategist Dam Wool Rin watched the cult leader's gaze as the moon vanished behind clouds, and she summoned thunder with a silent command that echoed like a temple bell. Soon the clouds parted, and the moon revealed itself, casting light on mountains and rivers, driving away all darkness. That night, the cult leader's return was proclaimed to heaven and earth. Back in the present, Chilbok's mask shattered, revealing the face of a crying woman. Cult leader! No, boss! Booboos! Is it truly you, boss? She sobbed, her heart breaking and mending at once. Chi stood calmly, hands behind her back, and replied softly, Yes, it is I. It has been a while, Chilbok. Absolute waterworks moment. In the quiet night beneath the moonlight, the two of them sat down to catch up and share their hearts. Chi remarked, You've aged a lot, Chilbok. And Chilbok replied, And you've gotten so young, boss. Did you undergo rejuvenation? Chi answered, Yes, somehow. Chilbok shot back. Rejuvenation is not exactly something that just happens, Chilbok smiled. Well, I am glad that part of you has not changed. What part? She asked. How you casually talk about doing the impossible. Chilbok recalled the boss's legendary rise. The third young master of the Heavenly Demon cult, once the weakest for lacking a powerful maternal clan. Yet at 20, you defeated all your rivals and claimed the cult leader's seat. At 30, you became the second in history to earn the title of Grand Demon. By 40, you brought the entire world to its knees, the strongest cult leader ever, the Heavenly Demon, Chi Yu Reng. To think that such a cult leader vanished for over 10 years after the Great Cataclysm, only to return one day as a beautiful young girl. Who could have ever imagined? Boss, please tell me, what on earth happened to you? Chilbok pleaded. She began. Well, you see, so Chi told the whole story. How she was forced into another world, turned into a loli, and had to stream to make money. And so, becoming a beautiful girl was the only way to meet you. My goodness. You are saying you've been holding out in that hellish demon realm for 10 years? And you started streaming with a device you happened to find? Chilbok was stunned. I am not entirely sure if it is the demon realm, but yes, that is how it happened, Chi explained. Chilbok's voice cracked. So you've been fighting a lonely battle all by yourself in the demon realm this whole time, and here, I was completely unaware, falling into my inner demons. I will not deny it. It was not easy to survive. It was a difficult time, Chi admitted. Chilbok thought, for him to say such a thing. Just what kind of place is that realm? Chilbok looked at her revered boss and imagined the sheer loneliness, the boredom, and the tasteless food. It was definitely the absolute worst. Chilbok then revealed, as you know, I was born a woman, but raised as a man. Because my yin energy was exceptionally strong, my parents thought it would help if I ate and acted like a man. Following the advice of some quack doctor, Chi sat with the posture of a superior, watching Chilbok speak. Anyway, on the day you took me in, we swore an oath of brotherhood over our cups. Whether we are sworn brothers or sworn siblings, does the title even matter? Chilbok clasped her hands respectfully before Chi. Even though I have become an old man and you've become a beautiful girl, nothing changes. I, Damwol Rin, will continue to serve you as my cult leader and my boss. You rascal. Thank you, Chi said warmly. Then Chilbok asked, by the way, boss, is it all right for this to be shown on your stream? I turned off the stream a while ago, Chi replied. What? When? Chilbok gasped. The moment you were about to suffer chi deviation from your inner demons. I could not let my Dongpo pork squad see you looking so terrifying. What on earth is the Dongpo pork squad? Now wait, is it really okay to just turn it off? Chilbok was bewildered. Do not worry about it. I will just turn it back on tomorrow, act cute, and say it cut out by accident. They'll get over it, Chi said casually. Meanwhile, viewers were commenting. What is up, Wenyer-su? Am I the only one whose stream crashed? Why did it suddenly turn off? More importantly, Chi wanted to hear about the Great Cataclysm. She had heard the Heavenly Demon cult ended up in a terrible place. Chilbok began to recount demonic beasts, but it would be more accurate to say our cult fell right into their nest. They trampled over the Central Plains and devoured us indiscriminately, like a living nightmare. The cult collapsed without a trace. At least you survived, Chi said. What about the others? Chilbok shook his head. As far as I know, no one else survived that horrific hell. Even the Bright Light Seat, the Right Messenger, and the 4 Heavenly Kings? Chi pressed. Most likely. Chilbok admitted he'd wandered through online forums praising her, but not a single person agreed with his posts. That is how he knew. Looking at that, I must be the only survivor of our cult, he declared with a hint of pride. Then he noticed Chi's expression. Why are you looking at me like that, boss? It is nothing, she replied. She thought to herself, I thought he was purging his inner demons, but he was just typing with his hands. I suppose that was his own way of searching for survivors of our cult. But if they did not respond to Chilbok's posts simply because they were embarrassed, there might be more survivors of the cult out there, she mused.
Chilbok?
Yes, boss. As you know, the Heavenly Demon cult and the Sun and Moon Divine cult are no more. I suppose so, Chilbok replied quietly. But today, it will be reborn under a glorious name, she declared. Boss? But all that is left of our cult is. What is the problem? Am I not the Heavenly Demon cult itself? We will start over from the very beginning under my name, since it was the elegant moonlight that shone on me in my loneliness, he said. And with that, he leaped up onto the roof. Bathed in moonlight, Chi turned back and announced, I shall name our new cult the Moonlight Divine Cult. What do you think? Absolute big brain move right there. Chilbok clasped his hands, tears streaming down his face as he gazed at Chi. Long, long, Live the Heavenly Demon. Absolute submission. The scene shifted to a forest where Dusik stood, sword in hand, searching for someone. Suddenly, a figure appeared behind Dusik. He spun around and lunged toward the stranger. The hooded figure slowly drew his blue sword. He slashed at Dusik, and in one clean stroke, severed an arm. Talk about a brutal opening move, you half-wit. You are a disgrace to the family. Get lost while I am still being nice. The hooded man sneered. Dusik coughed blood, his frustration boiling over. Damn it! Am I still no match for the boss? Lying on the ground, he thought, only by overcoming this wall can I surpass the first-rate level. Why must that wall take the shape of the boss? A voice called out, Boss! Boss Dusik. Meanwhile, Dusik was interrupted by Dasik rushing in with urgency. Lost? What do you mean? Dusik asked, confused. Dasik blurted out. That kid, the one who caught a bullet with her bare hands, Heavenly Demon Chan. We took turns attacking her, but we all lost. Got utterly crushed, Dasik said in disbelief. What about Deok-Jo? Did not he say he'd step up? Dusik pressed. Boss Deok-Jo lost too, Dasik admitted, leaving Dusik completely stunned. That kid is no ordinary brat, Dasik insisted. Sure, his mouth is a bit trashy, but is not Boss Deok-Jo a powerhouse who reached gold purely through martial arts? Even he lost to that kid. We could not even figure out what trick she used. Dusik thought to himself, Heavenly Demon Chan. So it was not just a name. Dasik pleaded, Boss, you have to step in. I get it, so quiet down. I will handle this, Dusik said confidently. Thank you, boss. You are so reliable, Dasik cheered. That kid who defeated us all in a single blow will be nothing but a mere pup before you, boss. Dasik declared. It is not like getting beaten up is something to brag about. Wait, you lost in a single blow? Dusik noticed. Do not go around calling yourselves the Assassination Squad, Dusik muttered, shaking his head. The scene then cut to Chi Yu-rang's cozy live streaming room. Today's stream was titled Heavenly Demon Chan's Quich Conquest Day 5. Now everyone, say hello. This is Beautifulzen, who will be our channel's moderator starting today, Chi introduced. The new mod chimed in. Ahem, do you see this green sword? Talk nonsense and I will sweep you all away. Viewers were baffled. What is going on? Did not the stream suddenly cut out yesterday while she was fighting him? The user Cheonmamanse commented, You all sure talk a lot. Stop babbling and join the Moonlight Divine Cult. Another viewer, Small Streamers Count 13, asked, Heavenly Demon Chan, what is going on? Was I not enough for you? Chi explained. Well, it turns out Cheonmamanse is an old acquaintance of mine. Viewers were shocked. You mean Heavenly Smoke Black Feather? The heavenly strategist of the demonic cult? Silence. It is not the demonic cult. It is the Heavenly Demon Cult. Repeat after me. Heavenly Demon Cult. Cheonmamanse insisted. Small Streamers Count 13 whimpered Heavenly Demon Chan. He scares me. She thought, as expected. They are losing their minds. It is getting noisy. That is enough, Chi said calmly. Yes, boss. Cheonma, Mansa replied obediently. Viewers went wild. Huh? Boss? Did Heavenly Smoke Black Feather just call her boss? Is not that an imposter? How could a Grandmaster be an imposter? Speculation ran rampant. Is she like the Heavenly Demon's hidden daughter or something? Oh, that actually sounds plausible. Meanwhile, Chi noticed the viewer count 323 viewers. It has not been long since I started the stream, but the numbers have grown quite a bit. It seems yesterday's duel was clipped and shared all over the place. Or maybe people gathered because of Heavenly Smoke Black Feather's appearance. She decided this was the perfect moment for a major announcement. She slammed her hand on the table. Attention. Listen closely. I will now make a major announcement, she declared. A viewer asked, Is something big coming? Now Chi dropped the bombshell. It concerns her 3 grand goals. A viewer joked. Is this her road view? Another corrected. You mean roadmap lol? First, I will become the #1 streamer on QH. The chat went wild. Wow, so easy. She just has to beat Yoon Tae-yang, who has nearly 100 million followers. Right? LOL, piece of cake, right? Her second goal, I will reach the absolute peak in Rifa. Viewers cracked up. LMAOO 0000000000000. It is good to have goals, she just has to beat Yoon Tae-yang for this too, right? There is also Psycho and Crazy Guy too. Then someone asked, why has not Yoon Tae-yang been streaming lately? IDK, he does whatever he wants. Chilbok watched the chat dismiss her as just a little girl's childish ambition. But he knew better. Back in the day, everyone laughed at the boss too. And only after the boss took the seat of the cult leader did everyone who mocked him fall dead silent. Classic, Chi declared. I do not make empty promises. No bluffing here. I will simply prove it through my actions. Actions always speak louder than words. When the time comes, you will know I was serious. Talk about main character energy. Meanwhile, Dusik and his underlings were watching her stream. Chi announced her third and final goal. I will make the heavenly demon cult great again. The chat exploded. What? Did she just say? Make what great again? They had no idea how real this was.